Alright, hopefully you've been able to give your hands a brief rest. And now we're going into Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is all 12 major chords. And we call this the 3-note chord formula for major chords, which builds upon our major scale knowledge that we've gotten from the previous chapters. A very simple process in how to find each major chord for each scale. And we know that there are 12 notes that make up the piano. They're just duplicated throughout the instrument, up and down, from left to right. And our scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as I mentioned earlier, in order to play piano, if you can count from 1 to 3 to 5, from 1 to 8, if you can count from 1 to 8, or 1, 3, 5, and 8, you can really master how to identify your scales and your chords. So in order to find the major chord, a major chord is made up of 3 notes. The bass major chord is made up of 3 notes. And you see how my hand is structured here on the keyboard. I have 1, 3, okay? Or actually, when you play, and my hands are pretty sizable, so, or at least I've been told that they're pretty sizable by people who learn from me. So basically, my finger position isn't always standard piano structured for your finger numbers, but we're going to cover the numbering just so that you know, because some instructors are very, very strict as it pertains to your numbering. When you look at certain performers, they don't use any numbering. It's very what's called abstract when they play, but to each his own. I tell my students that everyone talks slightly different, have their own accent, and everyone plays the piano slightly different because of our fingering and how our hands are and how they move. Okay, but to make a major chord, we simply go to the first tone of that scale and we count up 2 whole steps to the 3rd tone, and that is part of the chord. So we have the 1 note and the 3 note, okay? And then we count up 3 half steps to the 5th tone. That is a C major chord, the C, the E, and the G. Very simple if you know your scales. 1, 2, 3, stop there, 4, 5. So the easier, there's another way to identify any major chord. Now you're not going to be able to do this in live performances, but as you're learning, you can say, okay, well, I know my 1. How do I find my 3? If I don't remember it off of the scale, you just take 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, right there. That's the 3rd tone. And then to find the 5th is, as we just mentioned, 1, 2, 3. So 4 and 3 from the 1st step. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Just that simple. So with that, the 4-3 step motion, we can find any major chord. Okay, so I'm going to just play C's in the bass on my left hand with my thumb and my pinky. I'm just going to stretch them out. If you can't do this right now, that's fine. When I first started playing piano years ago, I could not do it either. I had to literally teach my hands how to stretch all those fibers. And if you actually take your hand, just stretch it out, you'll feel those fibers. Oh my gosh, that kind of hurts a little bit. But over time, your hand will stretch. You'll be like Plastic Man or Plastic Man. If you're like, okay. Oh, I hit that D sound real good there. Let's get back to our settings and go with the 1, 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Playing C's in the bass. That is your C major chord with C's in the bass. It sounds very full, and I'm just going to lift my foot off the foot pedal and just play the C major chord by itself. itself, and you hear the difference. Now it's full. Put my left hand into the mix, and there we go. C major chord with C's on the bass. And what I'm doing is I'm just playing the 1, 3, and 5, just getting my hand used to placing my fingers on the 1, 3, and the 5 all together to play the C major chord. Okay? Now, let's walk it up to C sharp. Again, you hear the slight raise in pitch. 1, 3, 5. Starting with that D flat. 1, 2, 3 major, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, and then 3 more steps from that third, and there we go. One more time. C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half steps, and then we need to get that 5th tone. So let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And that's how we find our tetrachord. So the musical term is the tetrachord, 1, 3, 5, and how you play that. Now I just did inversions. I just give a little bit of what's coming up in later chapters. I'm just playing the 1, 3, 5 up and down. Okay, and if you can follow, that's fine, but we will go in depth in later chapters with the inversions that I was just playing. So 1, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So in order to find from 1 to 3, go 4 steps. In order to find that 5th tone, if you don't know your scales, you just go 1, 2, 3, and that's all you have to do to find your major chord for the scale that you're playing in. Okay? Now, next we're going to go to D. Actually, go back to D flat, and that's the D flat, F, and A flat. Don't want to leave that out. You also want to know the actual letters that make up your major chords. So D flat or C sharp, F, and then A flat. Now let's move up to the chord of D. So D, F sharp, A. And let's prove out our formula. 1, starting at the root, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 2, 3. There we are. So D, F sharp, A. D, 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, and then 1, 2, 3. Now again, you wouldn't want to do this when you're playing or doing any kind of songs. Of course, hopefully you're past that point. But in your learning and you're trying to identify your major chords, that's all you have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Just that simple. That's the 1, 3, and the 5. I'm playing in both hands. Alright, moving to E flat, major chord. We have E, 3, G, B flat. So E flat, G, and B makes up your E flat major chord. It's going to sound the same pattern for every chord. Let's go to E. 4, 2, 3. So it's E, A flat, and B. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3 for the 5th one. Okay, so we went from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 to find that 3rd tone, and then 1, 2, 3 to find that 5th tone. So 1, 3, 5. If you already know the 1, 3, 5, you don't have to do that chromatic step. 4, 1, 2. You don't have to do that. You just say up. 1, 3, 5. And it comes with learning, of course. As I say with everything, it comes with learning and practice. with your chords. And again, that is upper hands. Okay? So 4, 2, 3. So E, A flat, and B make up the E chord. Now moving along, we know the pattern already. For F is the 4 steps and then the 3 steps. To find the 1, 3, 5, or just look at your chart to find that F, A, and C make up your F major chord. So F is 1, A is the 3, and C is the 5. Moving up to F sharp. Again, 1, 3, 5. That's your major chord. F sharp, B flat, and C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Pattern doesn't change. Going to G. See my hand? It's just as simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding that one. 1, 2, 3. Now again, if your hands can't stretch and you have to use different fingers, that's fine. It's just getting your muscle memory, and especially for younger kids that are learning, your hands are going to grow, from little hands to bigger hands. And, this will become easier. If it isn't easier already, it might be easier right now. You're probably like, okay, Eric, let's hurry up. Let's move on to A flat. And pretty simple. So that's A flat, C, and E flat. Always good to know the names of the notes. Alright, moving to A. We're almost done. A, 1, 3, 5. And then doing our step up formula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So a total of 7 half steps to find our major chord. So simple, so easy. That I got it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go to B flat. And you see that all the positioning, your finger positions are different for each major chord. And that's really the challenge, is to be able to go from one to the other. Having the different fingering positions, the different positions of how it feels when you press it down. Not your fingers you use, but how it feels when you press it down. Okay? So B flat, the 1 is B flat, the 3 is D, and the 5 is F. Still the same sound. That's A, that's B flat, major chord. Okay, that's A, going down a little bit. B flat, major chord, 1, 3, 5, and we know the formula. 4, 1, 2, 3. Very simple. And then finally, B major. So B, 1, 2, 3, 4 to E flat, and 1, 2, 3 to F sharp. And I just played it in both hands. And I went up a little bit. Doing a little pretty arpeggio there. Now, same challenge again. We are going to close out the major chords by playing all of them very slowly in both hands. So this is probably a practice that you're going to have to do a number of times to be able to go from C major chord to B major chord without even really thinking about it. Okay, so let's start. Both hands. All right, and think 1, 3, 5. We're not going to do the count. We're just going to go 1, 3, 5. This is a rehearsal that I do when I start to get my hands moving and get them ready to go. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. Going to do it slower this time. Ready? We're going to hold it for 3 seconds. C chord, C major chord, to B major chord chromatically. It sounded very good. Now we're going to do it one last time, and we're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Ready, set, go. You have just learned all 12 major chords in Chapter 4. Congratulations. We're going to move now to Chapter 5 and all 12 minor